All right, good morning. It is Ross here, and we are actually inside today in the office because it is rainy and cold outside here in North Texas. It's about 50 degrees, and it was raining all day yesterday. It's been raining for days, and it's supposed to keep raining for days. So we're inside today in this office working on our design for our new property, which we have named Jagannath Puri. Um, and so probably just call it Puri, but that's the new land out about 5 minutes away from my abode where I am right now. And it's where we're doing all the permaculture, where I made the previous video, the spirituality, farming, and permaculture. I think that's what I'm calling this series. It'll be a multi-years series. And so I put out a call on Facebook this morning for free supplies, for sustainable supplies, people who have extra building materials, people who have extra large plastic tarps that we could use, mulch, kiddie pools. If anyone knows anyone with fruit trees or chickens or eggs or ducks, then you can send them my way. And so that's my first approach in getting materials to the site, because we're starting to put together the design now. I'm reading the Permaculture Designer's Manual by Bill Mollison book. So I'm getting a lot of ideas, and I'm starting to observe the property in a new way and see what needs to go where, what's going to work well, what's already out there. So we have an idea of the supplies that we're going to need out there. And so I'm putting the call out there. We can house them there, we can store them there, fine. So putting that out now and having them come in over the next month or so is going to be great. And it's also a very sustainable way of getting things. So the output isn't incredibly a lot. Making a post on Facebook or talking to some friends, maybe emailing some people, isn't a lot of output. And then hopefully the input of the supplies we receive is going to be much greater. So that's going to be a beyond sustainable practice of getting supplies. And I've been looking into my own life too, of how I've not been so sustainable. So I see sustainability as like a spectrum, because there's just so many different aspects to what goes into any one action or any one act of consumption or one system. There's so many inputs that you could look at, and some of those inputs may be sustainable, and some of the ways that you engage with those systems may be sustainable, while others may not be in the same system. So it's not like a binary thing. This is sustainable, this is not sustainable, sustainably grown. Like, you got to watch that stuff, because it's just a word, and you have to really look at all the different inputs to what you're doing, and then what are the outputs that you're actually receiving. Is this worth it? Am I creating value here? Am I creating benefit here? So I've been looking at my own life, and definitely it's been an eye-opener, because I haven't been that focused on sustainability. I've grown organically, like I've said, but I haven't looked into sustainability, what that means, much less implemented that in my life. So looking at that and making small changes. I'm not being radical here, but just becoming more conscious and making small little shifts of saving plastic bags, washing out to-go containers that are from the Chinese place that are filled with soup, because those are plastic and those are nice. You can reuse those. Saving napkins if we go out to eat, because the restaurant's just going to trash them, but people here where I live buy paper towels. So if we can use restaurant napkins that we're going to get thrown away instead of paper towels, and all I have to do is pick them up off the table and carry them home, that's not very much work. So just small things like that right now, as well as even cooking with my own food more, cooking more with the food that I grow. So that is a little bit on sustainability. And the different items that we're calling for are things like fencing, lumber, chicken wire, kiddie pools, mulching the trees, chickens, ducks, the actual birds, tarps, large black plastic. And we can take those on the property, store them, begin to make use out of them as we build over the next few months. build out our farm. So that's where we are, and it's been fun. A few different ideas that we're looking into are IMO, indigenous microorganisms, inoculating our soil and compost with microbes that are already indigenous to the region. So I know that they're going to be good producers. I know that they're going to be strong and hardy because they're already like to grow here in North Texas. So collecting those, inoculating the soil with those, I think is going to be great. And biochar, creating biochar, I was learning about that last night, and it's basically charcoal, so it's not burned wood all the way, and it is very porous, so it holds nutrients and it holds water. It can hold like 3 times its volume in water. So sandy soil like we have out there, and in Texas, which we have droughts or prolonged periods of no rain, then the biochar is really going to help, I believe, out there. To add nutrients and fertility and good soil composition out there. So I'm excited about those projects. Yeah, those are the main things that I have this morning. I'm going to keep on with these videos. I feel so inspired to document this whole process. So for people who want to see what I've done, in a few years, we're going to have a super duper beautiful permaculture farm out there. And I want people to be able to look back on these videos and see, wow, they started from absolutely nothing, and this is how they did it. And that's going to inspire people who want to incorporate sustainability, want to incorporate permaculture, want to incorporate biodynamics into their own life at whatever level they're at. They're going to see that it can be done. They're going to see how I did it and then adapt it for themselves. So I'm super duper excited about that, the sharing aspect of all that I'm doing, because this is a crazy fun adventure. I will tell you what. We did the ceremony, or this weekend we did 3 different ceremonies, or I did 3 different ceremonies with people here at the center. There was a left-hand ceremony, there was a Hindu ceremony, a goddess ceremony, and then there was a Native American shamanistic ceremony. So all of my intentions for those were really refining myself so that I could become a better, more enlightened presence to do this work with. So I feel really excited about that, maturing, growing up. It's a fun adventure. So that's what I was up to mostly this weekend, and enjoying the weather, enjoying this cold raininess. I love cold raininess because I drink my coffee, even though this isn't really coffee. This is a product called Mud, which is like chai and cacao and spices. It has just an itty bitty amount of caffeine. So it's really tasty, and it doesn't have the of coffee. I drink it with cream, local, heavy whipping cream, and it's good, especially on this cold, rainy day. All right, I'm wishing you all the pleasure and true joy in the world. Bye.